Today, we are going to look at some of my worst wildlife photographs. Well, not according to me, according to Instagram. Apparently, these are absolute disasters. Now, if you've ever posted a photo on Instagram, you probably know the feeling. You spend hours editing the photo, you write a thoughtful caption, you hit post, and then absolutely nothing happens. You get three likes. One of them is from your mom, one of them is from your best friend, and the third is you checking in from your second account. So, for this video, I have picked 5 of my worst performing photographs on Instagram. And together, we'll try to figure out whether Instagram got it right or whether the algorithm and I just have very different taste in photography. I mean, who knows? Maybe these photos are really terrible, or maybe the algorithm just has questionable judgment. Now, before we begin, we need to establish a baseline. My Instagram account by no means does amazingly well. Looking at my last 50 posts, I am averaging around 330 likes and 75 comments per post. Considering I have about 14,000 followers, I would say those numbers are respectable, not great, not terrible, very aggressively average. Also, every once in a while, Instagram remembers that I exist. A post crosses a few thousand likes. But they are the exceptions, not the rule. So now that you know what normal looks like on my account, let's meet the 5 overachievers. Coming in at number 5 is this picture of a leopard climbing a tree. This one genuinely surprised me. See, I shot this image in Masai Mara. It was simply a beautiful scene. The leopard had just climbed down from the tree to get some water, but its skill was still up there. So I knew it would climb back. I was waiting for that moment, and I knew exactly what I wanted to shoot. The sky behind the tree was quite bright, so I thought, what if I could catch the leopard midair but not expose it conventionally? I wanted something close to a silhouette, but not a complete silhouette. Just dark enough to keep the leopard in the shadows and let its shape do the talking. And that's exactly how the photograph turned out. See, as a photographer, there's something incredibly satisfying about that. You imagine a photograph in your head, and somehow the camera actually cooperates. So, why did this photo end up here? Why did not it get more likes, more comments, more reach? See, I have a theory. When I processed this image, the only real creative decision I made was converting it to black and white. My intention was simply to accentuate the shape of the leopard rather than its spots, colors, or fine detail. And mind you, the leopard was already in the shadows, in the raw file. I did that in camera. That wasn't something I manufactured later in Lightroom. My hypothesis is that this photograph didn't work because it doesn't have color. One thing that I've noticed, at least on my account, is that people tend to respond much better to bright, colorful, detailed photographs than images like this one. And I think I understand why. See, Instagram is a platform where photographs have to communicate almost instantly. A brightly lit leopard with visible spots grabs your attention effortlessly. A dark silhouette, on the other hand, asks you to slow down and spend a little more time looking. Might I also dare say it looks a little boring to people? And that's a tough sell when your thumb is already on its way to the next post. Now, I could have maxed out on lifting the shadows in post processing and posted it as a regular color photo. But again, that was not my vision. In fact, just to experiment, I posted this version of the same image on my account, and it got way more likes and comments. So maybe the monochrome edit did kill it, or maybe I'm completely wrong. Either way, I love this photograph, primarily because I had a vision in the field and I was able to execute it to the best of my abilities. Yes, it didn't work on Instagram, and I guess that's okay. I can live with that. Now, at number 4 is this photo that I like to call the tree and its tiger. Now, this photograph was taken in Tadoba. And if you've ever been to Tadoba, you'll know it's famous for close-up tiger sightings. People usually go there dreaming of getting those frame-filling tiger portraits. And don't get me wrong, I love those photographs too. I have taken quite a few of them myself. But every time I go to Tadoba, I keep challenging myself to not fall into the portrait trap. And trust me, it's difficult. When the tiger is up close, it's quite difficult to resist the temptation to not shoot a beautiful close up portrait. But again, the thing is that wildlife photography is not just about the animal, it's also about the animal's world. And that is exactly what I tried to show here. See, to me, this isn't really a photograph of the tiger, it's a photograph of this incredible old tree with a tiger passing by. It sort of reminds me that these animals don't exist in isolation. They are a part of a much bigger world. So, why didn't this photograph do well? I think this one is actually pretty simple. See, a close up tiger portrait grabs your attention immediately. You don't have to search for anything. Like this one, for example. This photo got 7,000 likes. And it makes sense, right? It's a super close up shot of the tiger. The tiger is snarling, and this is what makes someone stop mid scroll. But this photograph, it's just different. Your eyes go to the tree first, then the light, then the landscape, and only then you notice the tiger. It asks a little more from the viewer. And on a platform where people are scrolling as fast as they can, that's probably not an advantage. And also, I feel the tiger here is actually a little too small. Just imagine trying to look at this photograph on a phone screen. I'm not really surprised that it didn't perform particularly well. But here's the thing, if I went back to Tadoba tomorrow, I would still make this photograph. Because at end of the day, I would rather make photographs that I genuinely enjoy than only make the photographs I know will perform well. Coming in at number 3 is this silhouette of these curious giraffes and an antelope. I love this photograph. And I know I'm biased. After all of these are my photographs. I took this photo in Masai Mara. And Mara has just the most beautiful skies that at least I have seen. And those skies, they give you the opportunity to take beautiful silhouettes with beautiful colors and lots of negative space. Now, to be honest, I expected this one to do quite well. See, the sky is beautiful. The subjects are interesting. The subjects are quite big and recognizable as well. The composition is fairly clean. And I think the icing on the cake is that all the 3 subjects appear to be looking into the camera. But Instagram's response to this was quite lukewarm. And that sometimes is exactly the point. You could pretty much do everything right, and your post still might not work. Now I can sit here and come up with 100 different explanations. Maybe it was the timing, maybe it was the algorithm, maybe it was something else entirely. But honestly, I just don't know. I would be making things up. So I'm not going to. Let's move on to the next photograph. Coming in at number 2 is this image of a lion chasing a herd of zebras. Now, this one, again, I absolutely love it. It's a lion chasing a herd of zebras across the Masai Mara. What's not to love? The zebras are scattering away, birds are taking flight, there's chaos everywhere. And yet, somehow, it all came together in a single frame. And this is exactly the kind of wildlife photograph I love making. Not because there's a lion in it, but because there's a story. You can almost feel the panic in the frame. And honestly, it's not the kind of photograph I make every day. So why didn't it work? I think the biggest reason is scale. On a phone screen, you don't immediately notice what's happening. Your eye has to do a lot of searching here, especially to locate the lion. And on Instagram, that's a problem. If people don't understand the photograph in the first second or two, they've already probably scrolled past it. I also posted this as a wide image instead of Instagram's default 4:5 format. Essentially, what I did was fit a 3:2 into a 4:5, if that makes sense. And on my account, I've rarely seen wide photographs perform as well as the ones that fill the entire frame. Now, if I wanted, I could have cropped this photograph, made the lion bigger, made it easier to notice, and it probably would have performed better. But then it would become a photograph of a lion, and a pretty bad one, to be honest. The space, the chaos, the chase, I think that's the story. Take those things away, and you take away the very reason I made this photograph in the first place. So, yes, if your goal is to maximize engagement on Instagram, posting in 4 is to 5 is usually the better choice. But if you were to take my advice, don't crop away the reason you took the photograph. Sometimes the composition that tells the story isn't the composition that performs best on Instagram. And now, finally, the worst photograph of my short lived wildlife photography career. This snapshot of Mara's sprawling landscape. Just look at that tree, the clouds in the background, the sense of scale. It's one of those scenes where, as a photographer, your brain immediately goes, I have to photograph this. Oh, and by the way, there's a leopard in the tree if you haven't spotted it yet. Most people don't. And that's probably why this photograph is number one on this list. This image has almost everything working against it on Instagram. It's a very wide landscape. The leopard is very, very tiny. Plus, it's also shrouded in the tree. On a phone screen, good luck finding the leopard. Such images are a disaster for a platform like Instagram. But forget Instagram for a bit. In my opinion, this image just shows us how beautiful the home of the leopard is. And for me, it would simply be a crime to ignore that and just shoot a close up shot of the leopard. Interestingly, though, I had a lot of time with this leopard, so I shot both. I shot this close up image of the same leopard, and it did reasonably well on Instagram simply because the photo stops people mid scroll. But if you were to ask me, I prefer the wider version. I think it's much more memorable, at least for me. Before we wrap up this video, there are two things I would like to leave you with. And the first is this: don't let Instagram become the judge of your photography. And see, I have nothing against Instagram. Instagram is actually a wonderful platform. Imagine if it didn't exist. Every photograph you took would probably just sit on your hard drive. Maybe a few close friends would see it. Maybe you would print a few. But for most of us, that's where the journey would end. Instagram changed that. It gives us an easy way to share our work with people all over the world. But it's also a platform designed to reward photographs that grab attention in a fraction of a second. Not every photograph fits that requirement. And more importantly, not every photograph is supposed to. The 5 photographs we looked at today are among my personal favorites. Judged purely by Instagram, they would be my worst. And keep in mind, a photograph that performs well on Instagram isn't automatically a good photograph. And a photograph that performs poorly isn't automatically a bad one. And that's precisely why you shouldn't use Instagram to measure your worth as a photographer. It's just a medium where you display your work, not the judge of it. The second thing, don't let Instagram change your artistic style. The platform rewards close-up portraits, bright colors, punchy and high contrast edits. There's nothing wrong with making those photographs if that's what you genuinely enjoy. But don't make them simply because the algorithm prefers them. Think about your favorite wildlife photographers. You recognize their work instantly because their way of seeing the world is unique. If you want to build a following, build an audience that likes your way of seeing the world. I guess what I'm trying to say is build an audience around your photography. Don't build your photography around an audience. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider subscribing to the channel. I am Shantanu and I'll see you in the next one.